NXT is gearing up for their next live special, which will take place on February the 11th, another NXT Takeover live special. And one of the matches set to take place on that show is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. The match originally was scheduled to be a non-title match, and we gave NXT a lot of props for going out of their way to make this a non-title match, because knowing WWE, it's a simple situation of, hey, this guy is feuding with this guy, and this guy happens to have a championship, so bam, automatically, because you're feuding with them, you become a contender for that championship. But with this one, William Regal, the general manager of NXT, came out and said, you know what, Kevin Owens, you haven't been here for that long, you haven't earned a championship match, so Sami Zayn, if you want this match, it's going to be non-title. And we get to the contract signing on this past episode of NXT, and Kevin Owens demanded a championship match, and a championship match he will get at the next live special. So, Charlie, you were a big proponent of this stipulation that it wasn't going to be for a title. So, what did you think about how it played out on this past episode of NXT?
I wasn't really a fan of it. I thought that the way they explained it, I thought made sense and fit Owens' character, but I think that I loved that stipulation of it being non-title so much, and it could have added so much to the progression of the story, and you could have built to a title match, and everything would have been so great. And I knew some fuckery was up when they said no brawling in the contract signing. I was like, then something else is happening here, because every contract signing has a brawl. So I think they should have just stuck with the non-title. I think they should have had Zayn attack Owens and, start to look like he's going to beat him up, and then get pop-up pile driver or pop-up powerbomb through the table. It would have been excellent. I would have stuck with the non-title. I'm still excited for the match. I think the storyline's still progressing nicely, but that was such a cool thing and so different, and it's kind of a shame that they went back on it.
Man, like, I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I was hoping that it would turn out a different way. Like, maybe you said Sami Zayn attack Kevin Owens. Maybe Kevin Owens attack Sami Zayn because he's pissed off that he's not getting that championship match, and that just creates more heat for whatever match that they're going to have at TakeOver. But the way in which it did turn out, I still like it, though. Like, I still get it, because it's so funny that you'll sit there and Kevin Owens just no fucks given. Like, he's just like, he's sitting there listening to Sami Zayn talk. He's like, yeah, you can talk about how we were friends for 12 years and I did that and I did this and I betrayed you. I don't care about you. All I want is the championship. So it seemed more like Kevin Owens was being dismissive of Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn was looking at this like a personal issue. And he's like, hey, guy, I despise you for what you did to me. So if I need to put my championship on the line just to get my hands on you, then that's what I'm going to do. And I like that. I like that.
I think one thing you're definitely guaranteed is these two guys, they just have, a lot of history with one another. So you already know that they are going to put on a very good match. Now, obviously, I agree with what you guys are saying, though. But still, at the end of the day, I think the biggest positive to take away is this is going to be a really, really good match, and this next TakeOver is probably going to once again blow us away and continue to prove why NXT is one of the most enjoyable things. And why a lot of people argue the network's $9.99, if for nothing else, is worth the $9.99 for the damn NXT specials.
Yeah, and you talk about Vince McMahon giving a crotch chop to the canceled WWE Network. Kevin Owens, he gets on Twitter, and all he does is post Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver. Like, if that didn't sell you on the network, then, hell, you may need to reconsider your status as a fan, because everyone is looking at the main roster and how that's going to determine where the network goes. We do have the hidden gem that is NXT, and they've been burning up the charts lately because of people like Sami Zayn, because of people like Kevin Owens, and these two forces are going to collide at this next show, and I can't wait to see it.
And speaking of Kevin Owens on Twitter, somebody tweeted him today. He talked about, tweeted that he was going to have the match for the title, and someone tweeted him that he's only had 2 fights, he doesn't deserve one yet, so he responded, and with only 6 followers, you shouldn't get to tweet about me yet. So...
Oh! That
Wow.
was great.
See, that is why I love Kevin Owens. That guy, hell, he's only had 2 fights, and I'm not ashamed to say he's creeping up to that Fave 5 level because he's such an unadulterated badass. Like, he doesn't care about anything. Like, we just saw that on NXT where he's like, you know what, friendship for 12 years, screw you. You have that championship, and I have a laser focus on that. And you see the way in which he's booked on NXT. He doesn't have patience for BS. You have people coming to him about interviews and stuff like that, and he's like, you know what, anything that I need to say to Sami Zayn, I'll say it to Sami Zayn. And he just blows people off. Like, he has no patience for the pro wrestling BS. He really seems like a regular guy who's infiltrated the world of professional wrestling. And talking about championships, he said something that I don't think I've heard in WWE in years. Maybe I'm mistaken, but he went out there and he said, I want that championship because that means more money for me, a better lifestyle for my family.
Yeah, the last
Very
person.
simple, and it meant so much.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody saying that in any of wrestling in a while now. I'm trying to remember. I want to say Bobby Roode, when he was a heel champion, said something around that. But then again, that's a different company. So as far as WWE goes, I don't even know. I can't remember the last time that a heel, said something it's so simple, but yet is so effective at the same time. And it's something that you can sit there and say, well, man, I take this guy seriously because he really wants it. And that's something that, they're missing on the regular programming. So you kind of have to sit there and say, how are they doing this better on NXT than they are on Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah, and that was such a great line, too, from Kevin Owens, because it kind of humanized a badass. He's still a badass, but it gives you almost that next layer to his character. It gives him the motivation. It gives him everything that gives him a reason for what he does. And there was a report out today that there's a lot of people are very pleased with Kevin Owens since he's been in. I guess the KO shirts are moving well, which is damn good to hear. So I hope they continue with this guy. We'll see what happens at the TakeOver special. I think he should win. That's part of the reason I want him for the title yet, because I kind of want him to win and then get his title. But, it looks like he's about to get the title, so we'll see where we go.